And we're back. We're back, hon.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
What?
It's been crazy. It's been crazy today with our podcast. I finally got it hooked up. We've been having some technical difficulties. Hey, what's up, everybody on the YouTube channel? Welcome back to another episode of the Growin Some More podcast.
Hi, guys.
We had another, man, we got some good things to talk about today. For those of you that are listening to this episode, we're going to talk a lot about some major news that we just found out about. Of course, about the Black Mamba and everything about that. Also, with everything in life in this podcast, that's a big part of an iconic figure in our lifetime. So we're going to dig into that today, too. And first of all, I just want to talk to you guys about earlier today. Hi, honey.
Hi, babe.
We did a podcast earlier already, remember?
Yeah, we did. It was in a
Beautiful
setting in Browns Point, Tacoma, Northeast Tacoma.
Browns Point,
Kind of windy,
lighthouse,
but it was the lighthouse. Yeah,
right on the water.
Lighthouse Park.
Beautiful.
But it was crazy. We had
a good setup.
We had interference and.
Well, we had a great setup. We had the chairs out. We just did it in the back of the car with the view of the water and the lighthouse in the background.
Yeah.
And then the stupid.
We had an RFI.
So it's called RFI, radio
frequency
interference.
Yeah.
And then we had some Mexican radio.
Yeah, we had our Mexican radio station playing in the background.
Yeah, so our microphones
picked up
a signal from an AM station, and it was a Mexican station. Yeah. And it was like burm, 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 burm.
Yeah.
And
now if it was Selena, we'd upload it, but you know.
but we didn't know anything about it. Like, and we couldn't. I didn't test it.
We didn't test it out.
Record and didn't find out until we got back to the crib. And then I told Tala, I was like, "What the hell is that radio noise in the background? Is that some?" And then I just realized that it was coming from our recording, and we had to just delete that whole recording. It was beautiful though. But what I did do is I saved a snap.
A photo of kind of our ending of the podcast. So
screenshot. That's what I was trying to figure out the word. I saved a screenshot of that episode, and we'll probably go back there another time. It was a nice day. It was nice and sunny. A little windy, but it was still nice.
It's cold.
There's
nothing about nice out here in the Pacific
Northwest. Yeah, it was
cold. It's cold.
We like doing the outdoor. I love doing the outdoors. I love it when Tala comes and enjoys the outdoors with me.
Yeah, there was lots of people walking around with their dogs. And
it was fun.
It was fun. And then then we got into the car and
then we had to scrap that whole episode. That's why, and we're doing this one back in our office.
In our room, away from all of our kids who've hogged up all the electronics in the house.
So once again, Talofa Lava, welcome back. You know who I be. I'm your host, Henry Willie, DJ Hen, Uncle Hen, alongside with Tala, my beautiful wife, beautiful co-host.
Hey guys.
Again, to talk about all things life, all things that are happening today in the news today, things that can help you out in your daily life, whether it be mentally, spiritually, but most of all on this podcast, financially. And Talofa Lava, Malolele, Aloha, Yorana, Pula Vinaka, Kiora. You know any new hello? Oh, how you say hi again in Japanese or Chinese?
Ni hao.
Ni hao. Ni hao. Yeah. Gang he fa choi. That was that last one for Happy New Year's. But welcome, peoples. Welcome back. It's we pretty much talked about stuff that we wanted to go through.
Yeah.
On the podcast episode that we had to delete. But we basically were talking about a review on the goals, picking off of the last podcast. And I think it's going to be a great one for everybody to just follow up on from our last podcast, which was making it rain with New Year's goals.
Yep.
And we're gonna start off with the comment of the day, and that comment is basically a follow up of the New Year's goals, making it rain. You know, if you guys are watching the YouTube video, once again, please don't forget, people. We're trying to spread the word, so please don't forget to leave a review, rate, and subscribe on iTunes or on our YouTube channel. And you can also leave a voice message on anchor.fm. I got the basketball here. If you're watching the YouTube, in the background here, just sitting up here, because
Well, we didn't know, so we were recording our podcast
yeah,
earlier. Then we got in the car and we had to do some food shopping.
yeah.
And
And then you
and
shocked me
then
with the news when
yeah,
I came
my
out the car.
husband, so Henry went into the store while I was waiting in the car, and I happened to hop on my news feed on
Yeah,
Facebook, and I seen so many friends
yeah.
and family back home in LA posting
I opened
about
up the trunk.
Kobe, and
Yeah, I opened the trunk. I was putting stuff in, and you're like, Brian died? And I was like, wait,
yeah,
what did you say? And then you said, like,
I was like, no,
Kobe
Kobe
Bryant,
died,
Kobe Bryant died? I was like,
and his
oh,
daughter,
I'm like, what?
and the other passengers that were with
Yeah,
him in a helicopter crash. So, you know, that's kind of the huge news for us. Kobe was a
shit,
huge part of our
shit.
generation growing up.
That's huge news
And I'm
for
and I'm from LA, so you know, the Lake Show Lakers was just huge
yeah,
for us. So yeah, it's really sad. I couldn't fathom losing a husband as well as a daughter, and you know, prayers to the Bryant
yeah,
family, and you know,
yeah. Big prayers to Kobe and to
yeah,
all the family members, everybody who knew him or met him. And I've seen a lot of posts today of a lot of people, family members who got a chance and friends to
yeah. I
to
mean,
to to,
we
to meet
we
him and
we
stuff,
got
and
to
that was
see him
cool.
from afar. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, LA is the place to be
yeah.
when it comes to
We're
movie
losing
stars in
some.
Hollywood and celebrities. But
Yeah,
yeah, Kobe was a huge part of the LA life, and that's that one hits home.
yeah. We're losing some real ones.
Yeah, that one hits home big time.
A quick story. My boy Marty Marr, rest in peace. When I first met him, the big story when first met my boy, and this was back in 1997, I think, 98, probably, no, the summer of 98. And as you all well know, you have been following us on our podcast. Um, I talked about my dear friend, Martin Afala, and big shouts out to all you family members. Again, once again, listening to the podcast. You know who you guys are. If you guys are out there, I love you guys. Still love you guys. Thank you for watching. And they told me, Martin. I remember Martin telling me that he played Kobe Bryant 1-on-1 back in the day, back in their high school days, and he lost by 1 point. But back then, we knew who Kobe Bryant was because of he was just getting out of high school and he was already a starstruck name for one of our friends to say, yeah, well, I played him back in high school, this and that. It kind of like,
Yeah.
we.
I mean, originally, you know, Kobe's from Philly, but you know, he
Is he?
was, yeah, he's from
I thought he's
Philadelphia.
from like Italy or something.
Mm-mm.
No?
Philly.
Oh, I thought. Well, I don't know anything about like
Oh,
his
yeah.
family history, not like that.
I'm a
All I
Lakers fan,
know.
but
Oh, that's right, huh? That's right.
yeah.
Oh, my bad. You should know then.
I shouldn't. Yeah, he's originally from
Yeah.
Philly, but he graduated out of high school and got drafted, and
Didn't he go to the prom with Brandy or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was real big in LA for us when he first came on the scene, especially the Lakers,
Yeah. Shit, I remember
because
watching.
you know, we we didn't have a football team. We lost the Raiders at that time. They moved back.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no doubt.
yeah,
Back then,
so
the
basketball
Raiders was life.
was life for us in
But
LA growing
every
up.
LA had.
Yeah,
Y'all still had the Dodgers though.
yeah, but you know, as a poly growing up, we either went football or we went basketball. We kind of really didn't do any other sports.
Well,
Yeah,
um,
so yeah, you know, it's just a real sad.
like on our podcast, I like to talk about time, the time we have here on this planet, the time we have to spend with our loved ones. And if you're listening to this podcast right now, when you heard the news about the sad news about Kobe Bryant and all the people, his daughter and everybody in the helicopter crash dying, you kind of felt like, oh wow, boom, boom. That it hit me hard. It hit Tyler hard because we grew up in that era, and he was always the big time iconic figure.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he was just a sports athlete, he was beyond that. He was like a big iconic figure for our generation, and the passing of him kind of like hit us in the gut. But at our age, and especially on this podcast, what we talk about, it's more of this is what life is about. You never know when it's just going to end like that. So you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to
I
try to
mean,
enjoy it. And
yeah, I mentioned to my husband, you know, tomorrow's never promised. You
mm-hmm,
know, as I couldn't fathom to
right,
lose a husband as well as a daughter or a child in any case. You know, that's like the saddest thing. So you know,
yeah,
people have been saying, you know, hold your loved ones close and hug them extra tight, and you know, time's never guaranteed, it's never promised. So
yeah, it's crazy. We're losing. You know, you never really notice it. There'll be those years where you just lose a lot of loved ones, and we all go through that in the Samoan community,
mhm.
where you're just like, oh man, we lost another one and another one and another one.
Yeah, I mean, we this year, you know, I mean, we lost Martin last month.
Yeah,
um we 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 lost Martin last month, and then another good friend of mine who I grew up in high school, Ryan
yeah, that's right.
Ayatsa
Your high school
Iatsa.
friend. Hmm.
Ryan, you know, families to the Yada family, but he passed away a couple weeks ago, and it's just, you know, and then to have another person
No,
that's
I
in
don't
our
want to.
gen, it's just really,
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't like. What I want to do is try to uplift people's spirits.
yeah,
Because this is, and it's a part of life. Death is a part of life, but at the same time, there's always, you know, the was birth. Like people are being born as we speak, left and right.
well, that's like the saying, you know, when you lose a life, another one is is born.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's just the circle of life, you know.
the circle of life, Lion
Yep.
King.
Yep, my son, I preach it to my son all the time, to my 7-year-old, you know, to
So,
Jacob. So
I,
but I mean, you know, just time. Time is precious, you know.
what I like to do is just encourage people that are feeling down and out about the passing of a loved one, the loss of, if you're going through hard times, about an iconic figure like Kobe Bryant, and you're probably starting off with a little bad day today when you're listening to this podcast. Hopefully, well, let me tell you, life, you got to keep moving forward. You got to pick yourself up, and you got to keep marching. You got to keep going on for the ones that you have here still, that you can still hold and grab on and grasp onto. And I can talk to you. You guys can hear my voice, so I'm using my voice to tell you it's going to be okay. Everything will be all right. We lost a soldier, another soldier, and all the loved ones that died in
That's
that horrific crash.
yeah.
And
It's just it's been a rough.
and don't get too hooked up on the stupid bullshit that the media be throwing out there to people, because
No,
we
no.
lost an iconic figure. Point. Period. Blank. That's
Yeah,
it. We
yeah.
we grew up with him. Like, it felt like we were a part of Kobe because shit, we seen him
Of course.
graduate high school and go. We watched his whole life, when even all the ups and downs.
Yeah, it's just been a little. I think. we've lost one after the other since my dad's passing in October. So it's kind of it's been one of those kind of moments.
I can still grip the ball. See that? I'm holding this ball right. This is a nice ball. This is my son's ball. It's a nice leather ball.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Kobe and all the Hoopers.
Prayers to the families, who lost a loved one in that tragic accident this morning.
So. And to all the Hoopers out there in the world.
Yeah.
If you love basketball, if you love hooping, I love hooping. I mean, it was one of my first loves.
I can still beat my husband in around the world.
Yeah, you're good. She's good. She's a real good shot. Yeah, you can shoot the rock though. You got the nice flips. And if you're a hooper, it is a sad time in the basketball world and the world alone, because he was a big time iconic figure for everybody. Mm-hmm. But my encouragement to everybody is to just say a prayer and be thankful for what you have and everything that we are still doing today. Being able to just wake up another day and breathe in that air and say thank you God, thank you Lord, for another beautiful day. I get to breathe in and out and cherish with my loved ones, whoever they may be. Mm-hmm. So, and with that being said, if you guys want to leave a comment, if you guys want to express something that you feel you need to express, hit us up. Hit up the comments on the YouTube channel or on the iTunes review thingy majigger. Mm-hmm. But yeah, straight up, it's a crazy time right now. My boy Marty Marr, me and Marty Marr, man, we used to always talk about Kobe and Will Dog, man, my guy, and Sai. Oh man, we're all hoopers, man. We couldn't tone. We all hoopers. That's all we did. That's all we did. We, as little Samoan teenagers, all we did was hoop. We had the apartment with the outdoor basketball court. We called it First Park. We called it First Park. We had nicknames. Then we had the basketball court down the street at the park called Second Park. And man, that's all we did every day. We just hooped, and we always looked at Marty Marr like, yeah, man, remember that? You said you played Kobe, We used to always give him shit, but he was like, yeah, man, I was telling you, man. And then we like, let's go hoop then. Let's just keep hooping and hooping. And damn, lost 2 soldiers. Damn. I used to talk to Marty about Kobe. He played Kobe. And, I lost we lost Marty Marr. The family did. A good friend, father, husband, and now this iconic figure that we all grew up with. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope, you guys can get some ease and just continue to just listen to the podcast. Hopefully it could, lift your spirits up, to make you laugh. Yeah, like knock knock. Let me tell you a joke, knock knock.
Who's there?
Type
who? Yeah, that's my husband.
I got a few more, but we'll save those for later. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, so
condolences.
Yeah.
To the Laker world.
All the families out there that have lost a loved one. I guess where we can start is kind of what we talked about on our podcast earlier when we did the original recording this morning. Mm-hmm. We talked a lot about inspiration and motivation and inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Well, we did the comment. You want to do the comment?
Okay.
Yeah, we did the comment.
So the comment that I have
comment of the day from the viewer and listener. And
was a follow-up.
If you want to post a comment, hey, check it out, people. We will read it.
Yeah. So the comment of the day was a follow-up from Miss Upolu, mm-hmm. who had commented on the previous podcast, and we had read it for you. So
somebody's revving up their engine back there. It's the racers. You hear that?
Yeah, we got lots of racers up here. Not like LA, but yeah.
It's like
So Mr. Polo's comment was, Happy New Year and thanks for the shout out. I played the podcast to Trey's mom, and she loved the shout out
Trey
and
Flowers.
support for her son. He and the Seahawks had a great season. Trey
Yeah.
Flowers, number 21, is our defense.
Represent.
Yeah.
Hey, that's amazing. Thanks, Mr. Polu. She
Yeah.
played that
Thanks.
podcast to Trey Flowers.
That's Trey Flowers' mom.
Mom. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe that's even better. We
Hey,
call her
you know, if
Mama
you know who
Flowers.
Beast Mode is, you know, Mama Lynch, you know,
You
she.
got Mama Lynch, you got Mama Flowers, man. Represent.
Yeah. So
Much love to them.
thank you for today's episode. After work, I stopped for coffee and had a money date by myself since I'm single and wrote down my financial goals.
Nice.
Health goals and life goals for the 2020
Nice.
per your advice. It's awesome to write them down as a reference to look back throughout the year. Being the oldest girl in a Samoan family, I take my role of taking care of my parents seriously. They're okay for now, but I know getting my finances in order will help me take care of them better. Thanks again for your inspiration and keep all that good information coming. Love you guys. Do y'all have an email address I can reach you at? Which we did. We passed it on and we have reached out by email.
Yeah.
Sailava, love all the way from Texas.
Texas in the house.
Yep. And don't forget to mention to people to always remember to give thanks to God for what you have.
Amen.
And pray for guidance and strength to help you in your financial journey. Soifua.
Word up, word up.
So, yes, definitely. That was part of our faith, family, and friends. I think, you know, to us, faith comes first in anything and everything that we do. God is our foundation in our lives. That is definitely number one in our books. So.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So we give, you know, the man upstairs thanks for everything, for all the blessings, for all the good things and you know, the bad things that we get in life, because the bad things we learn from to be able to be better and to strive. So, you know, definitely faith is that foundation. God is the foundation that we build.
There's a song that we used to sing back in a church. Read your Bible and pray every day. Pray every day.
So my husband
pray every day.
Lukbakbaki.
No, that's when I was going to Lukbakbaki.
Yeah, so my husband
when I was in my younger
grew
days.
up in a Lukbakbaki church. For those, Bakbaki is Assembly of God.
But hold on, I finished the song.
It's an Assembly of God.
And then it finished the song. And it goes, pray every day. And he goes, read your Bible and pray there. And then he goes like this, so you can grow some more. You get it?
Yes.
So you can grow.
Yeah. So
you know?
yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
We're both from two different denominations originally.
Well, my point is, if you read your Bible every day, you grow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what denomination you are.
But and that's what I preach, because it's like literally reading the Bible or getting some kind of scripture, a positive, anything positive.
As long
so
as you're going to hear the word.
Because it's positive stuff. That's why I love the word. It's always positive, you know? Yeah. Well, one thing I did love, I also loved, there's a lot of things I loved about your comment, Ms. Upolo. And once again, that was my bad. I told you earlier about the
yeah, so my husband forgot to put the email address for you guys to reach out to.
Oh, no, I thought I did. I had the email. It's Growin Samoan. It's just Growin Samoan at Gmail. And I thought I put it in the About page on the YouTube channel and the Anchor one, but I guess I didn't. So, excuse me. I got to put that on. I'll put that on. But if anybody wants to email us, it's at growinsamoan at Gmail.
Yep.
And I'll leave that at the bottom of the show notes.
Thank you, Mr. Polo, for your comment.
Yeah, check it out. She said she's the oldest, right? Being the oldest girl in the Samoan family. Now, that's what this podcast is mainly about. And if you're not Samoan, I'm pretty sure you can relate, whatever you are. Polynesian, Melanesian, Micronesian, anything, you know, islander or not, whatever you may be. Being the oldest, like we talked about earlier, being the oldest in the old podcast that we had to delete, it's very difficult, like, for them to take care of the parents in the Samoan culture. When you're the oldest, you have to be the leader to take care of the parents, be the next in line, and also watch over all the siblings, right? So big ups to you, and everything
Yeah.
you're doing. We all contacted her, email. We've been emailing back and forth, and it's a great thing. Anybody who wants to email back and forth, hey, more power to you guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I think that was part of the things we talked about earlier today. My husband is the youngest of his siblings.
yeah, I wouldn't know anything. Yeah, I'm the youngest. I'm not the
I
oldest, but I seen it.
Yeah, I'm all walks. My husband was clowning on me because he says I have five
Yeah,
families.
yeah, you have like 5 families.
Because I am the oldest of one.
Hmm.
I am the youngest of another,
Yeah.
and I am a middle child of another.
Hmm.
I have biological parents with many half siblings. Have I was raised by my maternal grandparents, who I've always looked at as my mom and dad. But that's kind of pretty common in the Samoan culture. We like to give our children to other relatives to raise. um, that's
That's a soap opera, girl.
right. Any hoots. But yeah.
Was that As the World Turns?
No, he's thinking of Days of Our
Days
Lives,
of
by
Our
the way.
Lives. There you go.
My mom loves watching soap
And
operas.
just like you, baby, everybody listening, they going through their own soap opera.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what this
Yeah.
podcast is for. Is that, hey, y'all, there's nothing special about me, nothing special about Tala. We're just your average everyday Samoan
Yeah.
couple,
But
going through
what
the
I
ups and
meant
downs.
getting to
That she has
that
5 families.
my point is I totally get how it is that you have to be the one to take care of your parents.
Sorry.
I also I get the fact that when you have siblings that are younger than you, you tend to be the role model. So you kind of want to be a good role model. That way they can follow you and be a good example for your siblings. It doesn't always happen that way because my siblings can tell you.
Yeah.
They can tell you that yeah.
And there's a lot of people, listeners, who probably are the eldest.
Yeah.
And they have a lot on their plate. Hey, more power to you guys. Hopefully you guys get some inspiration and encouragement through our podcasts.
Whether you're the oldest, middle, or the youngest, you know what? What role you play is always big and meaningful, believe me. No matter where you are. 10 times harder, I can say, for the eldest. You kind of tend to be the one responsible for taking care of the parents. That's kind of normal in our upbringings and in our culture. But one thing I have learned is, if you're close to your siblings, definitely it's always nice when you guys are together on an issue. When you guys are together in helping take care of the parents. Believe me, they won't know unless you ask for help or.
Yeah, one thing I just want to say to Miss Upolu is that, yeah, cherish it. Your parents, yeah, cherish it, Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my husband's lost both of his parents. I just lost one.
And to all the listeners out there,
Yeah. It's really, really hard. And you know what? Those are your rewards,
Oh,
Forgive
those
me
are
for being. Those
blessings.
are
Yeah, you get
blessings,
blessings, straight up.
blessings for you to be able to take care of your parents and parents, whether they be biological, those that raised you, or those that have been a part of your life.
Yeah, she said here, they're okay for now, but I know getting my finances in order will help me take care of them better.
Yeah.
And straight up, I wish I had the opportunity, and we talk about it. We talked about it a lot. I always tell my wife, like, man, if I knew what I knew now, and back then I would have been doing so much better for my parents. I could have, but you can't think like that. You just got to keep moving forward. But it's true, you have the opportunity to take care of your finances, so you can take care of them better. And girl, you will. big
Yeah.
ups to you. I applaud you for everything you do, and for everybody who's listening that is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I applaud you guys also. You know, life is too short. Do-do-do-do-do. You know, Kobe gone. You know, it's like he was a parent too, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, you just gotta, you know, cherish every single second, minute, hour,
Mhm.
and you
Very
know,
true.
enjoy life. Enjoy what you have now. I think we were talking about that too. About how you gotta be happy now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I think one of the
that
main
was the one
things that I
episode.
talked about earlier was our financial path or our path right now to financial independence. Our goal. It's pretty boring. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah,
I told my husband it's very boring.
and once again, it's boring because it's simple.
But it's
Yeah,
very simplistic.
it's very simple.
We
You save and you invest, right?
we save, we grind, we put a lot of that money that we make in our income towards investments, and
Mm-hmm.
that's to reach our financial goals. So it's not something that happens overnight. It takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing that my husband wanted to mention too, was the fact that I went back to work.
Yeah, we got some shocking news. Very great financial news that can probably help out people out there listening. Is combined income.
Yeah. So those that have followed us from the beginning.
Wait, say that news again. What's the news? That you went
I have gone back to work full time.
at a 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
9 to 6, whatever.
And she's gonna explain to you how it works for us.
Yeah, I mean, when we started this podcast journey, I was staying at home. I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband worked, and I was doing daycare for my sister's children.
Because the listeners, they've been following us too.
Yeah.
So they know somewhat of the story.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is like
so
new
technically,
news to them.
technically, we lived as a family with one income. Daycare, which is what I did for my sister, was, that helped out. That was kind of like a second income that pretty much helped supplant, what we had, our financial goals we had at that time. And so I did this for a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did this a little over 2 years.
And it was good.
And it was good.
It worked for us. The numbers were right.
Yeah, I got to stay home and got to homeschool my youngest child. Mm-hmm. And I was here to help my sister out with her non-school children, non-school age kids when she needed it. Mm-hmm. And it worked out great. So with all that being said, I remember we were discussing how can we make more income, getting side hustles or whatever it may be. And so I wanted to go work part-time. And I told my husband about this, and I said, "Oh, honey, they have a position for the weekend, and it's just a weekend job, so that way I'd still be home all week."
Yeah.
And I went in for an interview, and that interview was
They were
great.
throwing you offers.
It was great. Don't get me wrong, it was great.
I told you what was gonna happen. I was like, watch, when they see your resume, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, we'll give you this much, and we want you because you're highly qualified."
So
that's what happened.
I went in for an interview for a 2-day job, 2 days,
part time,
literally just work the weekends.
Yeah.
And it would be perfect because we would make some extra income.
Yeah.
And so I walked out of there not with that. I walked out.
So another great thing about life's journey, whatever you're on, is that when it comes to personal finance, that's what it is, personal. And I love it. That's what Mindy Jensen says. I think her name is Mindy Jensen from the Bigger Pockets Money podcast. She says personal finance is personal. It's whatever way you want to shape it. And that's what worked for us, is that we had the opportunity for Tala to go look for part-time to increase our income. And instead of that, more doors open for us where the income can get higher, because she's in a way amazing woman. My wife's a brilliant woman, and at what she did before she stopped working for 3 years, and before that she was just like, I call her the Michael Jordan of the international shipping industry, because she pretty much knows it all in that field and what she does and did in her
I
nine
don't
to
know it
five.
all.
Well, to me it seems like it,
But
but
I love what I loved what I
yeah.
do. I still do. I just it's
Oh, you're good.
hell.
You
It was my first job actually in high
she
school.
exactly my point. That
Mm,
experience from high school all the way till now,
yeah.
that's more than enough, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just our journey, and everybody, all you listeners are gonna have your own paths, your own doors open, your own way you want to mold your life, and whatever it is, this is how you do it. This is what we do. You just run the numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie. There's gonna be the other things that you can't, like life stuff that you gotta see if it's gonna be worth it or not, the pros and cons. Other than that, if the numbers are right and your life can fit into that, then go for it. And that's what we did with her going back to her 9 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, we came back home. I told my husband the interview went well, and then not even a couple of days, or
Hmm.
actually probably the next day, I got the job offers, and I told my husband, I said, "This is what they want. What do you think?" And we ran the numbers, and
Yeah,
so we have our own path, our own financial goal of where we want to get to. We want to be financially independent.
yeah,
So we looked at the numbers, and it made sense to us, and it actually would help us a lot to reach that goal faster if I was able to take one of those offers and go back to work full time.
yeah,
And it was it went well because it worked out for both of us. At that time, my sister didn't qualify for daycare anymore through the state, so
yeah. So daycare
daycare was going
was
obsolete, and
leaving, was walking out of the,
and
and
voila, another door opens.
we weren't even looking at that. We were
Mm-mm.
just saying, no, let's do something. So this opportunity came at the perfect time,
Yeah, yeah,
which it would only happen if you were to go out and do stuff like that, which
yeah,
means taking action and just going out and doing things that you know will help you out. You can always benefit from it, and that's how the door opened for us.
yeah.
That
We were pretty surprised about that.
yeah,
We were waiting to see what would happen with daycare,
yeah,
and that door opened, and so we jumped on it, and it worked out perfectly well because
yeah,
daycare actually was no more.
yeah,
So
and also with the, it worked out perfectly. Our only obstacle was to get through the homeschool for our little one, and
yeah,
we
yeah,
figured out a solution.
and yeah,
You just got to figure out
yeah,
solutions to any problem, and our solution was pretty simple. We have his older brothers,
yeah, yeah.
that one of them's able to stay with him. So we're like, oh yeah, so
Worked out well.
that older brother can stay, and you can go back to work, and
Yeah,
everything works out. You
yeah.
know,
It's we're going on a month since
yeah,
I've been back to work. Getting back into the swing of the full time work life
yeah,
since being gone for over 2 years is pretty, but everything is going well. My mindset's a lot different than it was years ago
yeah,
when I worked. But it all balances out. It motivates me. It motivates us to know that our mindset is where we want to go. We're getting there faster by me going back to work and for having two incomes, combining our incomes. Not only that, we have a big help with our two older sons. Um, Working. They're working adults, and they help out too. So it's always a plus plus situation, and that's why I mean that's why I say like our path to FI
everybody's path
is very
is different. Our,
very quiet.
everybody's path is different.
um,
Everybody has their own path.
yeah.
Whatever
Sometimes we
path
have
your
great
path
some
may be, you gotta just run the numbers,
yeah
figure it out, uh, move some things around in life, but make sure while you're doing it, everything's okay. In our
Yeah.
path with Tyler going back to work, this could also benefit not only us, but people who are thinking about doing the same thing. What it does is it allows you combined incomes from if you're a couple with the combined income, it increases your ability to reach that goal, that financial goal, whatever you want. And with Tyler going back to work and our combined income increasing, it'll help us reach that goal so we can have the time to be sharing with
Yeah.
our children
So,
or each other instead of being at a 9 to 5,
so one of
the rest
our
until you're 65 and stuff.
one of our goals, and I know that I don't think we've shared much of what our goals are, but one of our goals is for me to be able to invest at least 5 to 10 years, working full time to help out with our savings and investments, and be able to have my husband work part time because he's been breaking his back, for us and holding the fort down. For him to be half, work part time so that he's half fi and be able to stay home and work on our other investments and our other goals that we want to reach. So that's kind of like what our this helps us a lot to get to that goal faster.
Hell yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Of
increase
course.
your income
Mm-hmm.
and you know how to save and keep your expenses low, that financial path to financial freedom, hitting that number you want to hit so you can be financially independent, is just going to go quicker. It's going to come quicker. It's going to go faster. You'll get there faster.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things we do now is um, we work, so we're increasing our income. We save and invest in our investments. And then three, we are frugal.
Yeah.
We do not need to be buying things that we don't need. We
Yeah.
want, but if you don't need it, don't get it.
Um, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
because
And monitor your credit. Stay
all
on
of
top of your
that
credit.
that you just said, and from episode 1 till this episode 18, I think this is 18, it all revolves around life and finances and how knowing about your money can make your life easier, and not only easier, but it can save you so much time instead of being elsewhere to spend with your loved ones. Now, Black Mamba, you know, it was just a tragic ending in his lifetime, but that just shows how valuable and precious life is, just like that. So a lot of us don't want to waste our time going to your 9 to 5, being with strangers, and not spending the quality time you want to spend with your family and loved ones. And our journey, what we talk about, what we preach about, is everything revolves around that. Is how me and Tala are trying to get there, and on that journey, how we're having fun and just acknowledging that we are just grateful and thankful for what we have now, and enjoying that, being happy now in the moment. And today's tragic news with Black Mamba is just another reminder how important your life is. If you want to just sit around and just be you know a rat in the rat race and continue to live that life, it's just going to pass by in the blink of an eye, and then you're going to be gone. There was another quote from, I think it was Les Brown, and I'm just going to wing it at the top of my head, but he said that, imagine you're at your deathbed, and standing all around you in your rooms are your dreams, and they all look at you, your dreams, and they say to you, why? Why? Now we're going to die. We're going to die with you. We're all going to die, and nobody's ever going to know about those dreams, you know? And life is too precious. Life is is short. And you know, if you want to live that dream, finances can definitely help you reach. I'm not saying it's going to guarantee, but it can help you, and it can make things so much easier to reach. You know, and I don't know, man. It's crazy. This podcast, baby. I tell Tyler all the time. It's like we're doing good. It's something that we weren't taught about in schools or by our parents. But just imagine like the knowledge that we can share with people now through the internet and help them out.
Yeah, we're hoping
Um,
on more podcasts down the line that we can actually. I know some of you guys are probably
was I
wanting
getting too
to.
deep? Was I getting too deep? Like, I don't know. I love you. Getting very inner emotional, man. Black Mamba, Marty Marr. Uh,
Yeah, we're hoping as we go down more podcasts that I know we talk about how to get your finances, what we have done. Hopefully, we can share more in depth and more in details of what we did, like strategies or pinpoints or like calling creditors or whatever it is that we were able to do to get debt free and to basically go on our boring fight journey right now.
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
at the
yeah,
same time, yes, of course, we're not doing anything. It's going to take time to get to. We're being debt free is one. Staying on top of your credit and making sure that you're not incurring any other debt is good. Increasing your income, and then also like looking at like how to build more credit with like credit cards and all that travel hacks and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. We're hoping that we can give you guys more information on how the steps that we use to get kind of there.
Yeah,
And but like in this podcast, it's definitely more of a motivation, inspiration, reflection.
yeah,
I think on today's tragic accident, as well as just all the loved ones we've lost before us. So, but we really would like. I mean, that's part of what this podcast is about, is to be able to help you out financially, as well as explaining how we got to where we are in our journey to being financially independent. So, you know,
yeah. I don't think I mentioned
we
this.
we kind of move away from that main subject sometimes, but the goal is we want everybody to be
Well,
able
that's
to.
no, that's the subject every episode. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, hey, people, we're just a Samoan couple. We've been through the ups and downs,
Mm-hmm.
and follow us on our journey as we grow in knowing about our money, our finances.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, shit, we've been doing a hell of a damn job. And,
Yeah.
hopefully everybody can learn from it. Like every episode. Like this episode is mainly about Tala going back to work. Our path has led her back to that. To her
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5. She was working,
Yeah.
getting money. But
Yeah.
now she has a 9 to 5. And
I
that
mean,
combined income,
yeah,
boom, it helps us.
that helps us a lot. We have a lot of things going on this year. In our personal lives, we have two reunions. We have
Yeah, let's talk.
yeah, we
Let's
have
talk
two
about.
reunions.
Let me tell the viewers that about how I look at reunions and why we have reunions a lot. And I'm doing this stuff from both sides of my family.
Mhm.
Right? It's something simple. I told Tyler that I really look at my family the way I preach on this podcast. Everything in life to me now is all about family. My family, my wife, my kids, and my extended family, or not extended family, but family reunions. Yeah, you call that extended family, right? Everybody else, your cousins and everybody, because your family, they know you. Those are the people you grew up with. that's why we live for family, right? And I just have a thing like when I go to a reunion, it makes me feel so good. It's like, oh man, all the memories you share with your loved ones. So that's just my thing of like being out there and pushing to spend as much time as I can, not only with my wife and kids, but everybody else in my family. Y'all, I love you guys, each and every one of you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys again at each and every family reunion, because I'd rather be at a reunion or a wedding than a funeral, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're blessed in this case that my husband's family on both sides. Mine not so much, but so but it's a great time for my children to get to know families that they've never met before, or families that we haven't seen in years. So it's always a good thing. But the main reason why I bring up the fact that we have so much going on this year is the fact that it's not as stressful to think about upcoming reunions and the finances that go into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant when I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
About us. When I say that we have so much going on this year, we have a couple of reunions, we have
That's
birthdays, we
true.
have graduations. I have my dad's 1 year.
No,
That's
that's
towards the
true.
end of the year. And the one thing I wanted to bring up is that
Is that a damn fly?
I'm not
Mosquito?
it's that I'm not that it's not as stressful as it were.
You're right. Now, I absolutely agree with what you're saying, dude.
Did you find the mosquito or fly?
No, I'm just tripping. It's like a shadow or something. Ain't no fly. Ain't no flies out here. It's too cold. Probably mosquito or something. Anyways, what you're saying is absolutely right. And you listeners this could be like another thing that you can get from is what we're living. We're living proof. Before, it used to be so stressful
Yeah.
because money's tight. Motherfuckers ain't got no money. It's hard to fucking. You thinking about your
Before
your, your travel
we're like,
expenses,
where
your
the fuck are we
rental
gonna get all
cars,
that money?
hotels, and this is for every function, whether it's wedding, a graduation, a 1 year, anything, right? Funeral.
Whatever it may be. It's just it's definitely stress,
Yeah,
not as stressful, and
but we're
actually
living.
not stressed at all, honestly.
It's financially stressful.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just financial stress. But when you have financial intelligence, it's not stressful. We live in proof, like she just said. My wife Tyler just said we got so much stuff lined up, but
Yeah.
if we already got things planned out, and
Yeah.
the one thing is this is the most beautiful part about it. Fuck, we ain't rich. We just know our money. We know how money works now. We're financially educated now, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's as simple as that,
It really, really,
right?
yeah, it
It's a,
really is.
uh,
It's just it's the knowing that, like, was it yesterday that we were just talking about the reunion for the Willie
yeah,
side? Yeah, we were just talking about that, and that was taken care of. Not even,
yeah.
I mean, it was not even like a blip on our, like,
Financial
it's
education.
weird. I can't explain it, because I can tell you, if this was like 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah,
we'd be like pulling our hair out, like,
yeah,
are we gonna go work overtime? Where the hell are we gonna? We're gonna
yeah,
make loans. We're
yeah.
gonna. I mean, it's
There's
just
so
it's
many.
amazing.
There's so many.
It's,
Um, there's so many aspects in financial education. There's the emotional part you learn about, the physical part that you learn from it, the spiritual part you learn from it, the mental part you learn from it. When financial education, it teaches you everything, the relationships and how it can help you. That's why I put that in my epicenter of financial, education can help out all those things because
yeah.
people don't talk about this shit,
No, but
especially in our Samoan
it does
community.
it does help you out, emotionally, spiritually,
Yeah,
physically. Um, we go to work with a different mindset. We go to work as not just to pay bills. It's that's actually kind of like the that thought is kind of at the back of my mind. I go to work because I have a goal, and that's what motivates me to get.
I know. I love it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
before, it used to be like,
Because my goal is to get to financial independence so I can be at home with my family and
yeah,
that we can do things that we want to do as a family.
yeah, you're a whole different woman now.
Oh.
Yeah, when you, now you're back at work, and you haven't been to work that long, but it's just that the time you the short time you've been now, I see a big difference.
Yeah, because I would, if I didn't feel good, nope, I'm not
Yeah,
going to work. If I'm drunk, nope, I'm not going to
yeah,
work. Believe me, I'm just being real.
yeah, for real. And it's crazy, I wanted to, before we end the podcast,
Mhm.
I wanted to give a tip, a health tip, and I forgot to do one the last episode, and this one is that's a simple one. I encourage everybody to read this book called The Compound Effect. And the reason why say this is the health tip of the day is because there are some great things about working on your physical body and how the compounding effect of doing 5 push-ups a day over a long period of time, you'll see a difference. But anyways, read the book. Not only does it help out the physical part of your of goals, but financial and a whole bunch of other things. And this book was brought to my attention by my boy Paulo. Shout out to you again, Uso. And the book is called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I'll leave the link at the bottom of the show notes of that book. Just go to the library, get it for free, read it. It has some great tips about exercising tips and goals and all that. That's a health tip of the day. And not only that, it's a book about everything and all avenues in your life. Um, what's the thing about something else besides that too? Anyways, go ahead, baby. I'm trying to remember about what it was besides that.
No, I don't have anything. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is just, hey, keep your faith, put God first in all things that you do in life. Thank Him for all the blessings that you have, and, may He continue to keep bestowing those blessings on you through your financial journey, through your journey physically, through health, whatever it may be, you know. Blessings, to all of you upon that. So,
Um, I didn't have nothing right down there, but it was like at the top of my head.
yeah.
There's a lot that we can talk about. A lot we can go on and talk about.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind
And
of just it was kind of a remake of
yeah,
our original one earlier. I think we mentioned a lot of what we had originally had recorded this morning in a different location. But yeah, I think I from Miss Football, I definitely take that. Definitely put God
yeah.
first in all things. Your faith is what you
And
know
and
is
for
what
every
gets you through it all.
and speaking of Miss Upolu and everybody listening or watching this podcast, go to her YouTube channel. It's called Polynesian Cohesion,
Hmm.
and I think I
Yeah,
can put a
support,
link.
support,
Yeah,
support.
support. Yeah, yeah. She's gonna get down and do her thing, but in the meantime, if you want to subscribe to her, um, you know, just do that. Polynesian Cohesion, and yeah, just
Yeah, just
Kobe was from Philly.
yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah. So big ups
Yeah.
to everybody
Hold
out
on,
there.
hold your loved ones tighter.
Hold your
Spend as
loved ones
much
tighter.
time as you can. Condolences to all the families, to the Bryant family and the families that lost loved ones today.
And all the
Um,
families, that have lost a loved one.
yeah, yeah,
If
all
you're still
everywhere
going through
around the
that,
world, wherever.
yeah,
It's I for one, we still are in mourning for a friend. We are also in mourning for a father. Life is what it is, and we just gotta take all the positives that we remember in our memories from them of always, and then uplift that in our spirits and keep us moving forward. So, anything else, honey?
I have um something I want to end with, and this is pretty much on somewhat of the topic about life, because of, once again, Mamba, Black Mamba and everybody. And this is one thing I do preach all the time about: don't hold yourself back. Don't let your fear and self-doubt get to you. The inner conversations. If there's something out there that you're meant to do, that you love doing, that you think that it can help someone else out with, you know, take my advice and take this advice right here I'm going to read. And this is from Les Brown. He's a motivational speaker. He said, fear, FEAR, stands for false evidence appearing real. Once again, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. I like that. So don't let that fear hold you guys back from what you guys want to do. If you guys are tired of your 9 to 5s and you can do something better, or you can do a side hustle that you love doing that can help out somebody and help out you in your life, do it. That's my suggestion, because like my boy Short Dog said, life is too short. Too short.
Yeah.
And
don't fear, don't fear to fail. Failure is actually a huge part of being successful.
Oh, that's how you grow. Yeah.
Yes.
In our
you have
world,
to fail enough times to succeed. So don't ever fear failure.
So thank you, once again. Hopefully anything, we tell or we talk about on our podcast,
yeah, leave a comment,
can help out your listeners today.
Yeah.
Don't listeners today. I know it's a sad day if you're listening to this podcast, because we just got the news today. Keep your head up. Everything's gonna be all right. Growing Simone, we love you guys. Right, baby? Tell them it'll be all right.
Everything will be all right,
Yeah. Listen to your favorite song. Everything's gonna be all right. It's getting late. I gotta do the edit stuff for this. So
yeah, my husband needs to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll probably.
He works earlier than I do.
I'm gonna try and get this out today so everybody can listen to it. So I'll do that before I go to bed. But once again, thank you guys for listening to this Growing Someone podcast. This episode again. Please don't forget, help us out, y'all. Spread the word. To those that you think that need it. And don't forget to please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple iTunes, or go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that. Leave a comment. And you can also leave a message on anchor.fm, a voice message, which will be cool. If you leave a voice message, we'll play it.
Yeah.
We'll play it.
Yeah.
We'll play it. So
be one of the first so we can actually try it out.
I like that. If you want to be one of the first, it will go down in history. You could be one of the first to leave a voice message and say, I was the first one. My boy Law was sad because he found out he wasn't the first 2 listeners. So it might be you.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get back to you guys on our next podcast.
Yeah, so we have no podcast next weekend because we're watching the Super Bowl. And shout out to all the Niner families. Good luck to you and your team. And it's
have fun. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Enjoy the Super Bowl. We're gonna be watching, but I'm there for the food. I'm I was like,
if you love American football,
I'm just there to just watch and see who wins and eat some good food.
Spend some time with your loved ones, your family, your friends, and enjoy it. Life's too short. We got the Super Bowl coming. Hey, there you go. That's something you guys can look forward to. Look forward to the Super Bowl and having fun.
Yeah.
Watching those commercials and
that's right. It's free. Watch it on TV.
And picking out and grubbing out.
Yeah.
This is me, Growing Someone, telling you that it's okay. That'll be your cheat day. So, eat healthy throughout the week, and then you can cheat on next Sunday. So, we are available on 9 podcast platforms, which are Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Stitcher, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. I love you guys. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Spread the word and keep growing. Love you guys. Peace out. Let me hold the ball.
Bye.
Before I go out, this is how I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out today. I love you guys. Stay tuned to the next one. Mamba out. Soifua, Soifua. Oh, let's say, give a goodbye picture. Ready? Ready? All right. Peace out, you guys. Love you guys.